I've seen him do that chat up line elsewhere.
Always works in gyms with.
Lee Davis and Gwilym Roberts are the two IPs in a pod, and you are listening to a podcast on intellectual property brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Patent Attorneys.
Gwilym, really exciting podcast coming up next because this is someone that you bumped into, yeah?
It's my gym bro. We're hanging out in the gym and had a conversation, but yes.
Before we go any further,
Yeah.
So we both gym, don't we?
Yeah.
And I never speak to anybody. And
Well-
I get terrified if anyone even attempts to speak
Alex
to me.
actually said, I dropped my hotel
Actually,
room
he
card.
dropped his card and
He came and chatted to me.
I didn't want him to get lost.
I appreciate it.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've seen him do that chat up line elsewhere.
Always works in gyms with. No, so yeah, we were chatting away, and of course, everybody here turns out to be at INTA one way or another. Because you with your colleague, whose name
Tom Barkley.
you were there with Tom as well, and he's there as well. So then that was it. I think I was chatting, and then this morning I bumped in again after my run, super fit or what, and then worked out that you're the guys with the robot dog.
Which is actually in the studio with us.
In the studio,
It's in the studio,
disconcerting everybody. That
So,
is
It's on
amazing.
the green light at the moment. Yeah.
Opinion might take some pickies and some videos so that because
That'd be fun.
we don't normally do any visual stuff on the podcast, so this will be a first one.
Oh, just kicking something.
It's just
Worryingly, we're in a glass box. If the light goes red,
Yeah, Skynet's gone live and we should all
it's
go.
every man for himself.
So guys, welcome to the podcast. Can you quickly introduce yourselves? Is that all right?
It's humping the wall.
Calm down.
There we go. Yeah, my name's Alex Gray. I work for RightHub. I've been there for around 3 years. I came out of university, I went in a marketing job and I kind of really didn't like it, and then I took a chance. I knew our CEO, Tony Nijim, and I just sort of went, a friend of mine who I knew him through, I just went, please just get me like 5 minutes on the phone with him and just maybe you'll take a chance. He went, all right, here, stuck me into a startup. We were about 2 years old then, maybe a year and a half, and I just went, great, and we went from the bottom all the way up, and now in the sales team and under Asa. He's our CRO and he's been kind of guiding us. This is all of his idea with the dog, and INTA is kind of his baby.
Yeah, so I'm responsible for the craziness that is RightHub. So my background, I did 20 years with CPA Global.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I decided to have a little bit of break from IP because I felt I was getting a bit tired and old, to be honest with you. And then stayed in contact with Tony and JJ, who are the founders of RightHub. They showed me what they've been doing, and I thought, ooh, this could be really good fun. Super disruptive, brand new technology. So yeah, they sent me to do basically the go-to-market, and then they build product, but we need to go into distribution. So hence robot dogs, t-shirts.
Yeah, being different, being
You
new.
got the attention.
Tron style booths and stuff. It's all just a bit of fun, really, isn't it? So,
Do you want to take us through what RightHub is up to then? What's the plan?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess what our main founder was saying is that a lot of the systems are kind of built maybe 20 odd years ago. I'm not sending any shots, don't worry. We wanted to make something new. They've done 20 years in the biggest companies, CPAs, Marks & Clarks, Danes, all those kind of guys, and they kind of went through and they did a lot of admin work and they hated it and they thought there was something different. And especially because now we've got AI and there's a lot new tech. So it begs the question why the industry isn't using it. So that is kind of our idea. We got a nice bit of money and we spent 4 years developing an all-service, all-encompassing IP technology platform.
Okay.
So all your normal portfolio tools,
Yeah.
all task management, events management, and then make it new, make it useful, automated with AI,
Yeah.
and then add all the modules on top. So renewals, services, administration, brand protection, searching, all of it, quotations, invoicing, just put it all in one place,
Yeah.
and let's just stop using so much email. And that's kind of where we're going with it.
And who's your target market?
So it's mainly mid-market. It's fair to say you could use our system as an enterprise, but when you get to larger law firms and larger corporates, there's just a degree of sophistication they need, which we're not currently. It's on the roadmap to move in that direction, but right now we're quite happy where the product is. I think it's fair to say, picking up from what Alex was saying about why we started this, a lot of the problems in the industry might got a little bit boring. It's because the technology is old, but there's been huge amounts of investment in the big technology solutions. There's a lot of private equity money rolled up in that now, and trying to migrate or do anything different is really challenging for the industry. The benefit we had is we had no customers, a blank sheet of paper, and we've been in the industry all for about 20 years each, so we didn't have any of that incumbent legacy to worry about. We just wanted to build with brand new technology how we thought the industry should work going forward, and that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, thus the dog being different, tech,
Are we going to come to
and
the
it's
dog?
cool.
Yeah. The dog has actually nothing to do with it.
No.
We just
Yeah,
saw
we-
the dog and we went, we just have to have one.
No, it's working. You've got your podcast.
That's it. And that's the other thing. So, they wanted to get the dog out yesterday for Tony's breakfast briefing, so they almost out the door because he went, I'll bring the dog out. I'm like, don't bring the dog out. The dog's purpose was to get people to come and see us at the stand. That was the whole point. So just marketing. Pure marketing.
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, this is a big space, and so standing out and getting attention, and there's a lot of service providers here. So you're aiming at the private practice or industry or both sides of the story?
The product will work both across corporate and law firm. There's elements that so for example, for law firms, very much for the collaboration piece, so the ability to work with their end customers, so they can deploy the platform and give them a portal, so instructions or communication across that. Law firms love that because they've been struggling to give customer portals. It's just nice, neat and integrated. Corporates like it because on the collaboration side, for them, they can invite their agent network straight in. So rather than sending an email, you can do everything within the case record all the time. So it's just all happening with a nice clean audit trail. So it just saves a lot of effort, communication, just speeds everything up. That's what we like. We're just like, let's just not waste time with things that don't add any value, just let's focus on the bits that do.
Not to go corporate buzzword bingo, but it's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we went for. Keep everything in one place.
Yeah.
Let's stop traveling to different ideas, different systems, emails, Slack, Teams, text messages, all that stuff.
So you can start anywhere and go anywhere, which we also like that phrase, which means it's this modular, the platform. So if you want just the brand protection piece, you can have that. If you just want QuoteHub, you can have that. If you just want the IPMS side, portfolio.
And presumably it talks out and talks in as well in terms of interoperability.
That's it. So it's completely, open-ended. So it's not necessarily. It's kind of like the Apple ecosystem they built, but ours is actually deliberately collaborative with nature. It's about inviting people in to the same ecosystem as you. It's not closed.
And our model is we don't want to put you with user licenses. We don't do that. We want you to bring in as many people as possible without any extra fees. So the whole idea is that if you have how many so agents and you're having to email them asking for fee schedules, and it is an absolute nightmare to put into a terrible Excel to track it. It's a waste of time. So instead, invite everyone in and collaborate in the platform and just tier out the access levels that you want.
Okay.
So let's just keep it in one place. And that's kind of just what we really want to go for.
It's interesting that the funding's there as well. So this is obviously something where there's a really clear business model. The market's got that niche ready for you.
Yeah, I think in terms of the initial sort of investment for the company, I mean, a lot of that is Tony in himself is very well known. He was CTO at CPA Global. That does make it easy to get investment. He also had he's already had a successful exit of a software IPMS, IPendo, that he founded back in the day and sold to CPA Global. So that allowed us to get initial backing. The journey has been, super far. You burn through money building tech, as you know, quite quickly. But then the go-to-market, we've come online. I mean, we've only really we're at about 18 months on our go-to-market. We've gone from 0 to like 4 million ARR recurring revenue numbers, and then an aqua have appeared and gone, we like what you guys are doing. You help solve a problem, help them access segment the markets. We've completed that acquisition just before we came to INTA.
Oh, okay.
Is this first INTA, second INTA?
This is our second.
Second.
Yeah. Last year we had this. It was just me and JJ at the little table at the screen.
I think I remember it actually. I'm pretty sure I remember it.
And a video.
And a puppet dog.
No money, nothing. no budget.
How's it working for you? Has it been good?
This has been it's been awesome. I think that it's always an investment. Even the CEO of NAP was coming across, and he's realising, without getting silly and throwing a huge amount of money at it, if you can set up well here from a marketing perspective, you do something different and attract the conversation. We must have done over 100 demos yesterday. I mean, I actually don't know what we're going to do with the pipeline at the moment, so we might need to...
I'll have it, it's
We've
fine.
got that many options.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll take care of
Hunger.
it.
We need that hunger. That's good.
Because we're such a small team, but it's immensely successful if you execute it well. I think what we did is we just looked fresh, new, a bit different, and I'm seeing that around. There's a few other companies emerging, new businesses that are, again, they're looking quite edgy and a little bit. It makes me feel good for the direction the industry's going.
You know, don't you? Because I'm a firm that's 100 years old, right? And we've made ourselves change our tech. Sadly, not to you guys, but to someone else. I'm very happy with where we are, but it's a battle to do it. But if you don't do it, you're going to get left behind. And clients, as you say, they're looking for portals. They want to be able to extract whatever they want on the spot and all that kind of thing. And some of these old systems don't let you do that. So disruption is what we need, actually. So that's
this whole concept. We did a breakfast briefing this morning. One of the big things is I saw to a couple of agents is that migration. The pain of changing your IPMS system. Again, because of the tools we use. So there's two things. A, because the UI UX is so basic. It's basically very easy. You don't have to necessarily train people on workflows and what buttons fit where. But the other thing is we use AI tools to then do the data migration as well. So that speeds it up. So rather than trying to map one set of data set onto another data set, we just use AI to import it across into our platform. So we can onboard much, much quicker and painlessly. But I think the other thing is when you come onto our technology, the whole concept of upgrading disappears. We're releasing every day onto our platform. We're putting something new. So we don't have any kind of blanket, let's do a whole release, go up to this product V13 or 14 or 6 or 7. It's just basically it's the product, and just as we release more enhanced areas of it, it just naturally flows straight through to the end user.
It's also feedback as well, because we kind of want. Obviously, we have our idea of what people want to use, and that's based on 20 years of experience from these guys. But obviously, things are changing, so the needs are going to be different. So if there are forward-thinking firms that want to use AI, and they're going to be more aware of what AI can do, they could come to us and say, well, why can't it do this as well? And that just gives us more fuel to keep going and keep building new stuff. So it's kind of just, it's moving, it's new.
There's a few things we've done. We released some and the use case is really funny because we thought it was one use case, this was around translations, and we thought it was more about, how incoming documents come in and they just get flipped over so you can read something in Chinese and stuff. It turns out when we released that, everyone started using it for something different. They actually started using it, so that's what happens. They go, actually, why don't we use it for this? They're using it to support foreign filings. So when they're sending filings out, they're using the same application that does the translations, along with the because it reduced the cost of the translations. So now we've kind of pivoted and lent in behind that functionality. But it's really interesting when you put stuff into people's hands. They actually do it different things to you expect. So it's all an evolution. So.
So I'm interested in the dog.
It's come to see you.
It's come to see me.
Lee, you're going to describe it.
Yeah, so it's got 4 legs, Gwilym. They seem to be like multi-jointed, a bit like a dog. Not seeing any ears.
We did think about applying ears to said dog, but apparently it interferes with sensors on the ear, so it maps with the LiDAR.
Just a little bit disappointed it's not furiously wagging a tail, because that would have been the icing on the cake for
It's
me.
got a big spinning nose, which is the LiDAR, which is like the laser directional.
And it's just a
vehicle,
gimmick, right? It serves no purpose apart from...
there's a military application and a more complex. So it's Boston Dynamics, I think, came up with it originally. They've licensed the tech to Unitary, but they've just basically made this domain. So it'll follow you if you run and do it. It's about spaniel size. I've got 2 spaniels at home. I might take this home and see what they make of it. You run straight out the door.
I have a whippet. I imagine that's not as fast as my whippet.
Yeah, it's probably not as fast as
So-
it's about as unhinged as my my spaniels.
So can it do your renewals? That's my question.
Well, I don't know. We should get it working really.
Have you got the renewals on the controller?
My neuros are lapsed.
Expired. Maybe it could bring you a cup of tea. So,
What tricks?
It can do flips, so it does back flips, stand on its hind legs. We need the super user application for that, which is our dog handler friend has that. This is like my spaniel, my female spaniel wheeze like this, this on the floor.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be sitting though. It waves paws. Yeah, I mean, it's like a dog, not really very much use for anything.
But quite cute. Yeah. Quite cute. It is probably your shoe, isn't it?
Yeah,
or something? I think so, yeah.
The colour might be distracting it.
Yeah.
Can I ask a IP question?
Yes.
So, you guys are in quite a unique space, aren't you? In that you're building tools for the IP ecosystem, but there is IP inherently in what you do.
Yes.
Where are you in terms of looking after your own stuff?
Yeah, so Tony's a patent lawyer originally. We rely on firms like Pinson Mason as well
Okay.
to look after,
Yeah.
look after our
So
IP.
so you're kind of well stitched into
we're quite there, yeah. But some of the stuff we're using, particularly around the AI, that's not so much. So we're using those LLMs, but we've got agreements with them in terms of how we use them. So not all that stuff doesn't go into the public domain. It's proprietary for how we're using those applications. We have a whole team who specialise in AI. So one of the guys in there, I mean, he was at a conference with Sam Altman because he's kind of like top tier AI developer. So he's in that world. Yeah, he works for us. He loves this dog.
Can I ask my data question that I've been asking anybody who's got anything to do with data?
for it.
So, I mean, I'm not an IP specialist. I'm the chief executive of CPA. I've been there 13 years. My background is education. My passion is professional bodies, membership associations. That's what I do. And obviously, we use systems to manage membership relationships and those kinds of things. And the big hottie for chief execs of membership associations at the moment, particularly when we're moving towards systems that are heavily influenced with AI, is where's our data? Data sovereignty and stuff like that. Any nuggets you can give us around that in terms of, particularly as the situation in the States changed, we were all concerned about, hang on, well, if you're on something like a well-known branded web services and your data is there and that's in the States, is that something we should be nervous about? Just thoughts on that, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, data, it's the world's an interesting place at the moment. We're having it actually on some of the hosting because we get questioned on the hosting on RightHub as well. But the reality is actually pretty much everything, your email accounts, your Facebook, your Instagram, it's all in the cloud. We've already accepted that we've given away a bit of risk.
So no one knows what the cloud is, do they?
Yeah, and all you can hope is that provided those services on actually selling data. But in my view, there's two things. Like ChatGPT is a classic example. You can get the free version. Yeah. If it's free, you're the product. They're using your data to justify. But you can also, I think, like I think it's about £20 or $25. You can get the private version of ChatGPT where it's not putting your stuff out in the cloud. So that's where. So we use that internally for some of that stuff. So outside of the technology, I use ChatGPT, the private version, for lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Presentations, my LinkedIn feed. I get it to do all the heavy lifting on writing that stuff because I haven't got time to do anything else. So I think it's about.
I need to get smarter.
It's just about being smart how you use it. So some stuff like you can use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT the non-fee paying one, typically like Google now. I use it instead of that. But if I'm doing any work, I'm just paying the $20 a month. It's a very small price to pay. But that's the difference. If it's free, you're the product. So the data's the product.
Well, I mean, our system, we do also have an AI co-pilot tool. It was based on the ChatGPT models, and we actually worked quite hard to get an agreement with them on an enterprise level to have a zero data retention policy.
Yeah.
So obviously, IP data is extremely important,
Yeah.
and security and the rest of it. It's the biggest thing. Our CEO held a conference on AI, and two of the key questions that came out is my data. My data isn't secure. My data isn't secure. We're worried. And his point, he came out, is that you still use email. Email is the same systems, it's the same, it's all out there already. So it's just a different model, it's just a different avenue. So it's getting a bit more used to AI, but with our systems, we're trying to give everyone the most ammunition and information to start using it in the safest way possible.
And so, not to labour a point, so if I keep going.
Let's go.
Not to labour a point, but because we're the Chartered Institute of Patent Attorneys, we're under eternal attack. Our website, our database, we host with a really good, cyber secure bunch of people who know what they're doing, but the reports I get are quite terrifying. Do you guys experience the same sort of thing? Is that your IP rich?
That's why our CEO spent a lot of money on developers. I think we've got about 80 devs who are extremely savvy in all things, I don't know, matrix code stuff. I ain't got a clue, don't ask me. I think he went for going for the smartest people that he knows in terms of getting things secure and safe and building them properly. I think he's probably the better guy to talk to in terms of security and data and the rest of it. But I know that his key thing is making sure that we build it correctly from the beginning so there's less problems to solve afterwards. And that's kind of the way we go.
So the architecture itself makes this very difficult. So again, because the technology based one anyway. So our website, for example, our website doesn't lead anywhere. So what we don't do is let you log straight into our platform from the website. That's a classic one. Very easy to then hack in through the back end that way. I think that's what happens at Marks and Spencer and Co-op. So they came in through one particular route. So we don't do that. So the way we've architectured it is to keep it quite closed off and being able to hack the system. So there's an inherent security. It's again when users of the platform, how they then monitor what they want to give out in terms of who can access the system, what they can see in the system. So they control it, but what we can do is prevent them from our data being hacked and then all these private names, addresses, and contact information going. It's kind of inherent in the design of that. But again, you can do that in 2021. The stuff you couldn't do in 2016, 15, 16. That's the reality. It's harder.
Guys, thank you so much for coming on. It's been, do you know what? I've really enjoyed this.
No, it's really interesting.
It's been really
more
interesting.
than just the dog. It was really good. Let's give a shout.
Hang on. We do it because we normally do a close one. We've not done one whilst we've been at INTA.
Have we?
haven't done.
Have you got one?
No, only in that. I'm looking at this little robot doggy thing.
If you're new,
What?
Oh no, it's just one.
Look.
I was trying to love the
What's going on? Look at the little robot doggy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had a robot pet, Gwilym, what would it be?
I've had a robot pet.
Yeah.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Well, because you can.
Well, just because you can. So you wouldn't normally have a dragon as a pet, would you?
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
But now you can.
Is that the Welsh thing coming through?
Yeah, it's absolutely a big red one with a spike on his tail.
Go on, Alex. You can have any robot pet you want. What are you having?
That's a hard question.
He does this. He springs it on you. Honestly, the first
Asa
time.
goes first.
Go on, Asa.
Well, it's difficult because I love dogs. I probably would, but we've got a robot dog. So if it wasn't a robot dog, I'd probably have a robot tiger or something.
I was thinking tiger.
It would be mental, wouldn't it? I mean, it's got a robot tiger. I mean, it's scared the life out of everything.
Yeah.
I'd say tiger as well. Do you remember those pictures of Mike Tyson back in the day when he had a pet one? I'm just too scared to go that close to a real one. So,
Opinion, what would you have? Come on, you don't get to go on the podcast very often, so producer Opinion, what would you have? Robot pet?
A crocodile.
Good answer.
You've all gone for some mad things, haven't you?
Well, you said you can have anything.
Yeah, I know, but you've gone right sort of scary end all
Well,
of
I
you.
thought you were going to say a horse or something. Because there is actually
That's
a
a
robot
good one.
horse.
Someone's
you can ride
building
on
one.
it,
Oh, right.
full size
Really?
robot horse.
Okay. Well, it's dragons.
It's
just a
probably
horse
going to
with-
be equally as
Yeah, that would
expensive.
be cool.
That's the real one.
You know what I'm going to have.
Is it going to be a tortoise?
It's going to be a tortoise.
It's going to be a tortoise. It's always a tortoise.
Because you know Albert. So I have a tortoise called Albert Treacle. He's and he's sex mad. Yeah. And we don't. You can't introduce him to another male tortoise because he's so sex mad. He will just kill it.
Oh no!
And you can't introduce him to a female tortoise because he will just exhaust her.
Don't do
What
this
have
to
you
the
been
robot.
training him?
So I'm thinking, it's Crocs. So we leave Crocs, the shoes, out in the garden, and he just tears them apart with these sexual endeavours.
You spend your entire life trying to find artificial sex aids for your tortoise.
Yeah, so
this conversation.
so a robotic tortoise where he could
do that to the robots.
happily.
Oh, this is why AI is going to kill us.
we are at an IP conference. I'm sure someone will trademark that for you.
Yeah, you're right.
So, Gordon, you're going to say you can give these guys an opportunity to say something. Well, yeah, go on.
No, just don't get the name check in there.
Yeah.
So RightHub, thanks very much, guys.
We're at RightHub. My name's Alex. This is Asa. We've got a really big team of salespeople. I say it's Mark Anderson, Tom Barkley, Tommy Berenger, and Tony Digim's our CEO. Just new tech, trying to be different, cool, and just come and have a look.
Thanks very much, guys.